because today I'm going to be sharing with you shocking lessons from the top four contestants of The Voice Nigeria Season 3 and how it relates to your personal development, life. What's up, guys? Welcome to the talk with Mark and I go by the name Mark and it is M to the A to the C to the A to the double N E, and you are welcome to another exciting episode on my channel. As you all know, this is your number one source for personal development, productivity, and lifestyle. Every week, I create new content to help you become more productive, to grow and enjoy your everyday life. If you're just stopping by for the first time, please click the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss out on the amazing and life transforming content I bring to you every week. Last week, Saturday, the 24th of July, it was the history was made as it was the final for The Voice Nigeria Season 3. And for the first time, I followed through The Voice Nigeria Season 3 from the blind audition to the knockout to the battles to the top 12, to top 8, top 6, top 4, and then the finals. I'm going to be sharing with you shocking lessons from the top four contestants of The Voice Nigeria Season 3 and how it relates to your personal development, life. I wasn't expecting this thing, but as I was on transit and I was thinking about the whole event that transpired during the weekend, and then I started deducing lessons from it. And just as you know, I always create content around personal development. I thought it wise to share with you the top four contestants who were the last four standing that performed on the finals were Naomi Mark, Esther, Elizabeth, and KP. And what I was thinking about it, there are lessons that everyone should learn regarding their personal development journey. Now let's talk about the first person. Let's talk about KP. So KP happens to be the king of vibe. Everyone loved KP because whenever KP stepped on the stage, he brings in this atmosphere and this vibe that's gonna make you dance and you're just gonna be entertained. And thinking about KP, one thing that struck me, two things that struck me about KP is the fact that KP has a sense of self-discovery and self-mastery. He knows that his voice is not that awesome and his strength is when it comes to dance and entertainment, and he's stuck to it. Despite the fact that the show is called The Voice Nigeria, he does not have the voice, but he has gotten to that level where he has discovered his strengths, his weakness, his strengths, and the opportunities, and he decided to maximize it to wow the audience, and they kept voting for him till he got to top 3. Now, we live in a generation where a lot of young people are constantly being swayed here and there by different trends on social media. A lot of persons don't even know themselves and they are competing with who they should not be competing with. Kevin clearly stated that he knows that his voice is not that good compared to other contestants, but he knows his strength and he's going to focus on his strength. And the fact that he focused on his strength brought him to the finals. Now, come to think of it, the beginning of your personal development journey starts with an awareness of who you are. Have you got to that point where you know your strengths? Do you know your weakness? Can you perform a SWOT analysis on yourself? Do you know your strengths? Do you know the weakness? Do you know the threat? And do you know the opportunities it will present to you? I put it to you today to take out time and begin to look deep inward to discover your strengths, to discover your uniqueness. Because when you stick to your uniqueness, you are going to shine brighter and you are going to stand out from your peers. And that was just what made KP stand out. Now let's talk about Easy Elizabeth. Wow. Elizabeth is a pure definition of grace, growth, and effort. These are the three lessons I learned from Elizabeth. I watched Elizabeth come into the blind audition, and then she had people turn for her, and then she went for Coach Waji. Elizabeth, everyone who followed the show could see a transition of growth. Elizabeth started from that, she didn't have a lot of confidence. She didn't really believe so much in her inner voice. But Coach Waji saw something that was worth keeping, and she kept fighting for Elizabeth. Even during the knockout stage, Elizabeth has lost hope. I think there were about 3 of them who were to repeat. It was Elizabeth, it was one other guy, Anifunanya, and she needed to pick one person. From the countenance of Elizabeth, she has lost hope. And I would say at that moment, grace found her. Grace happens in a way where you least expect it. And that's how God, most times we feel we don't deserve it. But God keeps showing us mercy, and grace found us. Now, when Waji picked Elizabeth from the knockout stage, she did not believe it. But something happened. Now, the fact that grace found Elizabeth did not make her relax. Elizabeth went back and put in the effort. She put in the work, and it resulted to growth. Guys, did you see her come back during the battles? When she battled with Noel Ayo, it was mind-blowing. Like, Elizabeth took control of the stage, and she sang from deep within. I am a believer. I'm a person of faith, and most times I see some Christians tend to abuse grace, and they say, it's the grace of God. But the grace of God is not a license for you to be lazy. The grace of God makes it easier for you to work hard. And when you put in the work, you are going to grow. So when it comes to your personal development journey, there are times opportunities will just come to you when you don't deserve it. Opportunities you did not work for. But then you need to go back behind scene and begin to work. And when you work, your growth will be evident to everyone. Also, Izzy made it to top 3. When I went to check Izzy's Instagram handle, it was not up to 10,000 followers. But how come she made it to top 3? Everyone was shocked. The coaches, even herself, she did not believe it. And it made me still believe in grace. There is a grace factor that still works for people. And grace is not really about your effort. And as a believer, if you're not yet born again, if you don't know God, I would encourage you to, get to know God, because it's not everything that really comes by your strength, by your effort. Now, there's a place of effort. It does not remove the place of hard work. But there are some things that happen not by your effort. Elizabeth did not have up to 10,000 followers. When I checked, it was, I think, 6,000 before finals. But she got to top 3. She did not believe it. Nobody believed it. And all I could say at that point is she is a child of grace. So let's talk about Esther, the winner of The Voice Nigeria. I love Esther. Esther carries this grace. She carries this anointing in her voice that you can't just listen to Esther and not fall in love and not get into the atmosphere. There's this atmosphere her voice carries that she has a way of enveloping you in it. I was either rooting for Esther or Naima, and I'm glad she won because I celebrate her. And one of the top lessons that struck me when it comes to Esther is the place of identity. Esther has gotten to that place where she knows her identity and she cannot be moved or swayed by popular opinion. Wow. A lot of us have not gotten to that place or have that boldness. I don't even know what I will do when I get to that stage, because after Esther's winning, I started making a prayer point. I was like, God, help me love you the way Esther does, and give me the grace to be unashamed about my love for you and to boldly profess it even in a larger stage. I made that sincere prayer when I meant it because I was challenged. I followed secular reality music show for a long time, for some time after I took some break, but I think she is the first person. Now, she did not come there to start singing worship songs. No, she sang secular songs, but you could still know that this person is deeply rooted in Christ. And one thing that is missing in this generation, among young people, among millennials, is that question of identity. If you are asked, who are you, what would you say? Your name is not who you are. Your career does not define you. But have you gotten that identity that is vetted from the place of conviction? A lot of us grew up as Christians, and then we were born into Christian homes, and then you are answering Ebere, Emmanuel, John, Peter, because your parents were Christians. But you need to come to that point where you become convinced and convicted about who you are going to believe in. Don't go to church or don't go to mosque because it's your parents, but you need to get to that point where you begin to search and to seek God for yourself. When you do that, this is the bedrock of your personal development, because personal development embodies your development in your spirit, in your soul, and in your body. And the development of your spirit starts with first identifying who your spirit is and who you're going to submit it to. And one lesson from Esther is that she has gotten to that point where she is convinced about who she is. She's convinced about her faith, and she's not swayed, and she's not ashamed to declare boldly about her love for God. Who do you believe in? Who are you? And what is the conviction backing you? I think this is a foundational issue everyone needs to pay attention to in your personal development. Another lesson to learn from Esther is the fact that being a person of faith, being a Christian, does not mean you will be a mediocre. You can be a tongue-speaking Christian and also be excellent. And she exemplifies the scripture that says, "See thou a man diligent in his work, he will sit before kings and not men." The fact that Esther was a person of faith did not undermine the potentials of her skill, because over time she has refined and mastered her craft. And that is why you cannot but just hear her talk about her love for God, because the voice has already captivated you, and then your ears must just be open to hear her talk about Jesus. So it's also a lesson to every believer out there, to you, to I, to know that the fact that you are a person of faith should make you go the extra mile to work harder. Because most times when you bring in your faith, people may want to just be like, "I beg you, forget it." But when you are good, you are good. They have no other option to accept you, accept your message, and accept your Jesus. So it's also a lesson to everyone out there in your personal development journey. Seek to become skilled. The last of the 4 contestants I'm going to talk about today, the last but not the least, is Naomi Mark. Oh my God! I love Naomi from the first time she stepped on the stage during the Blinds audition and she sang the song. Don't tell me not what it was.
She sunk me into the emotion. It was unbelievable. I was like, what is this that I'm hearing? Who is this person? I have to.
But Naomi Mark, there are 3 lessons that you need to learn from Naomi Mark and apply it to your personal development journey. The 3 lessons I learned is consistency, passion, and marriage. Now, I've never heard of Naomi Mark before until she graced the stage for The Voice Nigeria Season 3. And when she started performing, a lot of people started digging up her previous video. And I stumbled upon the video where Naomi Mark competed when she was 18 years old. That was 10 years ago. And 10 years after, she is still a contestant, or she was a contestant at The Voice Nigeria Season 3, and she got to the top 4. It made me understand one thing. Naomi Mark discovered herself early. At 18 years old, what are you doing? At 18, I was so scared of really believing in myself. And that's why part of my drive is to help young people discover, develop, and utilize their potentials for productivity, because I believe that young people are not too young to start making impact, influence, and income. And at 18, so she had this level of self-discovery. She had discovered her strength. She had discovered her gift at 18. And she was already manifesting on a big platform. Now, I was not just thrilled or tripped by the fact that she discovered early. What made me amazed was the consistency. After 10 years, she was still doing that thing. In your personal development journey, you have to begin with the end in mind. Where do you see yourself in the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years? I say it and I say it always that whatever you see me doing now is the same thing I see myself doing even in the next 20 years. I see myself standing at big events, organizing and anchoring international events and doing coaching and training people. And I just started barely 3 years ago. But it has made me know that I have discovered something and I am willing to pursue it. And if you are ever going to begin your personal development journey, you need to begin with the end in mind. Think back, where do you see yourself in the next 10, 20 years? The second thing that struck me about Naomi Mack is the fact that she did not just only concentrate on her passion. You know, we are in this period where there's a lot of trend, follow your passion, follow your passion. I am not against following your passion, but I want to tell you that at the beginning, there are some passion that will not pay you, and you need something to feed your spirit, soul, and body to help you to keep pursuing your passion, because a hungry man can become angry and dejected at his passion. Naomi Mack runs a fashion enterprise where she is into creating t-shirts and also, she has fashion accessories. And it made me know that maybe music was not paying her at that time. What sustained her, that still made the fire to keep burning for her passion, is the fact that she had something to sustain the passion. In your personal development journey, passion is not enough. If your passion is not paying you at the moment, can you please think of a skill that meets a need that you can begin to learn so that you can begin to get money? If not, you're going to burn out in no time. So there are people who burn out, and that's because they just feel like, I better forget this thing, passion does not pay. Passion pays, but sometimes it does not pay at the initial stage. So if you want your passion to pay you, and if it's not currently paying you now, you get a skill. Amazed me about Naomi Mack is the fact that she is a married woman and she has a baby. A lot of women get married and that becomes the end of their dream, and that becomes the end of their career. But it was different with Naomi Mack. I was impressed with the fact that she was still married, she is still married, and she is actively still pursuing her passion. It validates the fact that marriage does not steal away your passion. So marriage should not make you give up on your passion and your dreams. Discover your passion early, get married to a person that supports you, and keep going, because marriage is going to help you amplify your passion if you get married to the right person. So it made me reaffirm my belief, because I don't want marriage to stop me. Even when I get married, I still see myself doing this. And I'm always excited when I see young ladies who are married and still you should have learned several lessons as regarding your personal development journey from the top 4. From KP, we learned about self-discovery and self-mastery, because KP was able to perform the SWOT analysis on himself, and that gave him an edge every other contestant. For Easy, I saw grace, effort, and growth manifesting. Easy and Esther, I learned the lesson of self-identity. Esther had strong conviction about her identity, about her beliefs, and in this generation we need people who are convinced about their values and willing to stand for it. And then for Naomi Mack, I was super impressed with her consistency. In your personal development journey, consistency is key. Discover that path, discover that lane that is yours, and stick to it. Give it your all. Secondly, if your passion is not yet paying you at the beginning point, look for a skill that's going to help you, because Naomi also runs a fashion enterprise, and I believe that was what sustained her and still made her keep pursuing her passion for singing after 10 years. And finally, Naomi is married and still actively pursuing her passion. So marriage, it's a sign and it's an encouragement for every single person out there, like maybe you or me, to keep pursuing after our passion even when we get married. Thank you so much. In conclusion, one final lesson I learned in general from watching The Voice Nigeria Season 3 is the fact that you and I have got our own superpower. Whenever I watch every contestant grace that stage, I was mesmerized and so in awe of the gift of God upon every one of them. And I want you to know that God has endowed you and every other person on earth with a gift. You've got your own superpower, and it is your responsibility to look deep within, to discover it, to develop it, and unleash it to the world, so that the world is going to celebrate you, just like we are currently celebrating the top 4 and the top 4 finalists of The Voice Nigeria Season 3. Tell me some other lessons you learned from watching The Voice Nigeria Season 3. And I want to say big congratulations to everyone from the top 12 to the top 8, top 6, top 4, and then the winner, Esther. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Help us keep growing and to keep serving you better. I still remain your girl, Mark, and it is M to the E to the C to the A to the double N E.